Hey guys, I just wanted to introduce you to Kevin here. Kevin's a new friend from O Squad, and they just got back from Northern Ireland, and they're going to Kenya next. And I got to know Kevin today, and him and I decided to go out for dinner in the town of Clondalkin, which is just south of Dublin. And we went down there and ate some Philly cheesesteaks and had a good time. And then when we were about to leave, God placed a guy named Kevin Hunt, in our path. And immediately I noticed one thing. I noticed all the cuts on his arms. And I could tell a little bit about his life and what was going on, and but I didn't want to point it out. I let him bring that about, and well, Kevin, just tell him a bit about what he said.
Well, I'll say again, we didn't know this guy. Came up to us, started chatting a bit about what kind of history of the town was that we're staying in, and we got to chatting a little bit, and eventually started talking about God. Just noticed that he says he's a born-again Christian.
That's the first thing he said, yeah.
That's right. And so he started talking about how God's worked in his life, and we noticed that he's still dealing with a lot of addictions, a lot of strongholds in his life still struggling with broken family, and we just it started tearing our hearts apart. Just seeing that he still had a lot of struggles in his life, even though he was born-again Christian. We could tell that his faith was weak, and he just really needed really a boost in to know who he was in God. I think he was losing the identity in him, and he was going to drugs and things like that to find it, and obviously that doesn't do it.
Yeah.
So we invited him to worship tonight.
Actually, after Kevin told us that he had been on every single drug that there was, he said, "Where are you going?" And I said, "Well, we're going to a worship service." He goes, "Do you mind if I go?" I said, "Bring it on, buddy." Mm-hmm. So he followed us. Man, we had a good time. This guy's hilarious. Yeah. And we went up there, and all the things that Kevin and I were talking to him about over the past hour. Mm-hmm. We walk in, and immediately this guy that's preaching, I've never seen in my entire life, had no idea he was going there. Mm-hmm. He's preaching about the same exact things that Kevin and I and Kevin were talking about. And he wanted some pen and paper, and I could just see it in his eyes. He was hungry for it. And he kept looking over at us. And one time he goes, just because it was rocking him. Yeah. And he came over to me and he said, "Did you know that he was going to be talking about this?" Yeah. And I said, "No." And he goes, "He's rocking me, man. This is crazy." And about 5 minutes later, Kevin comes up to me and he hands me this little book.
Yes.
And on the inside of it, as I look, as I knew what it was an ounce or two of cocaine. Mm-hmm. And he said, "I don't want it anymore. Yeah. Take it. I don't want it. Go flush it in the toilet." Yes. So Kevin and I went to this Kevin and I went to the restroom, and after a predicament of it not going down the toilet a couple times, we finally poured it out and got it down, and we prayed, and we went outside and just release God's love on him. Right. And tonight we just hung out with him until about 5 minutes ago. It's 1:45 a.m. right now.
That's right. We're a little tired.
Yeah, we're worn out. We went to an Irish pub and just hung out with him, and he asked us what we wanted to do. And I said, "Kevin, to be honest, I don't care. As long as we get to hang out with you, that's all we want to do." And he looked at me like he was about to cry.
That's right.
He said, "I don't have any friends." And he told us he's been homeless for 9 years. He's got a 10-year-old daughter, and he just wants to change. I asked him a little bit ago, I said, at the end of the night, at the end of today, what is the one thing that's on your heart, or one thing that's on your mind? And he said, change. And we told him, we said, come Tuesday when we're not here, what next? And we told him, there's that whisper from God that says, I want you to be like me. And I said, but unless we realize it, there's a voice inside of us that says, I want to be just like you. And when we realize it, and when we realize the love of God and how real then things change. It's a constant. Change is a constant. And we sent him to bed tonight and told him to think about those things as he lays down. So pray for Kevin Hunt.
Absolutely.
Pray for him. Spend some time on the floor praying for him. And pray the hell out of him. Because I guarantee you he was in that room tonight where there was no hell present. And he felt the presence of the living God. And he told us that. He wants to be free. Kevin Hunt wants to be free, and our God wants to deliver him. So join us, join our squads with helping see Kevin to the promised land.